and 12. And the starting lineups for each of these teams, it's Davis, Scott, Bennett, Stanford, and Ellison will get the start for Tim Kendrick. Dossie, Maiwen, Latne, Robinson, and Thomas. And the Hoopers win the tap. Here's Davis. Bennett getting a start tonight. He's been good. CJ started the season on the injured reserve list. Wol Maiwen starts it off with an emphatic two-handed slam off the steal. Here's Davis, the leading scorer. Stanford knocks down the jumper with the shimmy shake. Actually, he was from downtown. So he was beyond the arc, not inside the arc. His first three-pointer. Wol Maiwen, he's got all the points for the Tide. Back-to-back field goals, both of them inside the painted area, a foot away from the rim. Ellison's left-hand floater won't go. Dossie, who's been outstanding this season, drops it off to Maiwen, and he'll lay it up and in. And Wol is on the attack early. And this young man showing a lot of athleticism this season. Usually comes off the bench for the Tide, but tonight getting the start in this regular season finale for both of these teams. Tri-City getting the best of Halifax this season. They are 5-1 coming into this matchup. This Tide team is on an 8-game winning streak, and it's the second time they've been on the 8-game winning streak. They started the season 8-0. Trying to make it 9 in a row, heading to the playoffs, representing this division. Maiwen with the rebound, keeps it alive. Robinson, bank it home. So Jordan Robinson's first field goal. A foot away from the basket. So all the field goals that have been made by Tri-City have been a foot away or inside the basket itself. That dunk to start the game by Wol. Here's the aforementioned Wol. Try to throw it inside the big Doug Thomas. Seeing the replay there, that's how the game started. So some wholesale changes here for Tim Kendrick, as Brandon Bellotti will come in along with Hug. Here's Scott. He'll bring it over the timeline. Scott comes off the stagger screen, nothing there. Davis now will try to create something. He'll turn it over. Thomas on the run out, and big Doug Thomas throws it down. He almost ripped the rim off the glass. He threw it down with authority on that fast break. Hogg now trying to get inside. Stripped away by Robinson. Dossie back the other way. He'll kick it out. Latne will drop it off to Robinson. He'll lay it up and in. And Tim Kendrick decides that he's seen enough. And he'll call a timeout. That's the Tide up by 10. And Halifax looking for, well, they're looking for some sort of resolution early in this one. We haven't even played 2 minutes. 8:48 remaining here in the opening frame, and it's been all Tri-City. And a very impressive Tri-City Tide this season. Last year between these two franchises, it was a total different scenario. Halifax got the best of Tri-City last year. But this year's a new season, and this team has been revamped with a new coach. Some familiar faces from last season, but this season has been nothing but attacking their opponent. So it's Hoopers basketball out of the timeout. Josiah Tynes checks in for the Hoopers. Tri-City shooting a blazing 85%, 6 for 7 from the floor. Halifax 1 for 4. And 4 turnovers. And Thomas tries to make it number 5. Thomas will pick up his first team foul. Here's Tynes. Tynes turns the corner. Hog for 3. Too strong. Maiwen with the rebound. Hoopers now 1 for 5 from the floor. And actually that three-pointer was switched to a 2 by Hog, so it was inside the three-point line. Excuse me, that was Stanford's field goal, and another turnover as Bellotti will be called for the walk. Hoopers looking for some rhythm here on home court. Thomas looking to go inside with Robinson jostling for a position with Tynes, and Robinson will draw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Tynes first team foul. So Robinson will go to the line for 2. 17 points per game is Robinson, and 10 rebounds. Shoots it at 65% from the free throw line on the season. It's the first one to roll in. G.J. Smith, along with Mason Jones, into the game now for the Hoopers. So we have seen just about everybody before the 5-minute remaining in the first quarter for the Hoopers. And Jones goes right to work with the baseline drive and finish. Last man standing for the Hoopers is Jackson Inyenya. Here's Dossie. Dossie's three-pointer not there, but Wol Maiwen is, whoa, baby. He is on a wave right now. Maiwen can't be kept off the glass. A second offensive rebound and a second finish for him. Maiwen gets inside. He's fouled by Jones, and Wol will shoot 2. Averaging 8 points per game and 7 rebounds off the bench this season is Maiwen. Shoots it at 57% from the free throw line on the season. He's trying to get into double digits, folks, as we approach the midway point here in the first period. Craig will come in for Thomas for the Tide. And Maiwen knocks down both, and he is putting something on tape early in this contest. 10 for Maiwen of the 18 points for the Tide. Tynes is 3, too strong. Craig with a rebound, another one and done. And Towns the second, who had an outstanding game last time these two teams played here at the complex. He's checked into the game along with Neal. Here's Towns the second. No relations to Karl Anthony Towns of the New York Knicks. And that's a shot clock violation. Good defense there by the Hoopers. As the get-ready crew on the floor. Here's Hogg. He'll try for three. Won't go. Another one and done. Craig on the run out, just out of his reach. Jones trying to make a play off the bounce. Draws the double. Bellotti blow by. Gets inside. Is blocked by Maiwen. Saved by Towns the second. Thrown up to Robinson for the two-handed flush. And that was a sequence that was executed to perfection. The defense, the save, and the run out with the easy bucket on the other end. Bellotti gets inside, and he'll draw the foul on Craig. And Brandon Bellotti will shoot a two. So Craig picks up his first, second team foul. Brandon knocks down the first, averaging 9 points per game and 5 rebounds. Brandon Bellotti, second year with the Halifax Hoopers, shoots it at 64% from the free throw line. And he'll knock down both. Here's Towns the second. Picked up 94 feet. Gets inside and an easy deuce. Some confusion on the switch here on the pick and roll. So he refused the screen was Towns the second, and a wide open layup to the rim. Here's Robinson now. Neal, pull up inside the three-point line. Too strong, and Tynes with the rebound. Tynes looking for Hogg, and it's turned over. Robinson steps in front of that pass. Towns the second for three. Got it. So James Towns the second, instant offense off the bench for the Tide. Another Robinson rebound. Tynes with the steal. Now Hogg. And he'll throw it down with two hands. Need a little bit more of that for the Hoopers. Great defense by Josiah Tynes. Turns into a fast break dunk on the other end. Maiwen guarded by Hogg. And that's the first mistake by Wol Maiwen, but he has been outstanding tonight early in this game. 10 points for the Tide. As Ellison will come back along with Stanford and Bennett for the Hoopers. Here's Bennett. Bumped off his line. Three-pointer by Ellison is pure. So Tim Ellison knocks down the three-pointer, averaging 14 points per game and 6 rebounds as Ellison on the season. Impressive. He gives up the baseline drive to Craig, and he'll bank it home. So Jabari Craig with his first field goal. Now here's Jones. Jones off the bounce, trips, falls, turns it over. Towns the second now will gather it for the Tide. Maiwen in the corner. Takes Ellison to the rim with the pump fake and banks it in. Man, he is good right now, Wol Maiwen. Woj on the attack offensively. He is putting great basketball on tape, and that's a solid move to the rim by DJ Smith. Smith got his hand in that passing lane, couldn't come up with the loose ball. Now Jamestown's the second. Kicks it into the corner. Great ball movement. Neal for three. Throws up a wild shot. Batted around, and Bennett picks up the loose ball, and he's fouled. So a timeout on the floor. Crowd starting to file in here for this regular season finale, the final game for the Halifax Hoopers. Trailing at 29-15. This Tri-City will represent this division in the playoffs. They captured the championship title, the inaugural championship title on May the 8th when they defeated the Hoopers here at 110-96. And they are shooting at 70% right now from the floors. 12 made field goals on 17 attempts. They are shooting it lights out. They're 1 for 3 from downtown. The Hoopers, on the other hand, they are 6 for 15 at 40%, and 1 for 7 from downtown. And they've been to the free throw line just one time. They're 2 for 2, but it's the turnovers that have been really not in the right scenario for the Hoopers right now. 7 turnovers in comparison to 4. So Halifax looking to steer the ship a little bit here towards the end of this opening period. Just under 3 minutes remaining in it. Here's Bennett. That's deflected away, but it's thrown away. Towns second almost comes up with the steal. Tone Davis, who's checked in out of the timeout, rattles down the three-pointer. Hoopers just looking to get this deficit under double digits. Jackson and Yenya in the game now. Back to back for Davis. And he is sure from downtown. So that's back to back three-pointers for Tone Davis. Cuts the lead to 8. So the Hoopers with some life here at the end of this first period. Towns the second, the step back three-pointer, it's good. So James Towns the second with back-to-back three-pointers. He's got 8 in the quarter. Davis, 3 in a row for Tone Davis. Does it again from downtown as Davis. Bennett with the steal. Towns the second, rips it away from Bennett on the run out. And Ellison commits the foul, and a couple free throws coming up here for the Tide. Couple look at Tone Davis's three-pointers. Tommy Aprim will shoot 2. Strong on the first is Tommy. Averaging 7 points per game, 4 rebounds. Shoots it at 57% from the free throw line. And an empty trip, he barely hit the front rim. So after a very auspicious start here for the Hoopers, Bennett with the 3, count it. And just like that, the lead's down to 5. The Tide has been up as much as 18 in this quarter. Ephraim kicks it out. Three-pointer won't go. And excuse me, I said it was a 5-point game. It's actually a 2-point game. So the Hoopers can either tie the game or take the lead. It's their hold for the last shot. Davis almost loses the handle. Back door and rejected by Neal, but he's called for the foul. As Stanford went up to try to slam it down. But Brandon Neal caught him on the head on that block attempt on the baseline. And you could see he's in full disagreement there. But you got to give credit to this Hoopers team. So they're able to battle all the way back here if Stanford can knock down both of these free throws. And he just got jinxed by the announcer. As Stanford, pretty good free throw shooter on the season, 75% from the charity stripe, averaging 15 points and 2 assists and 7 rebounds. So he'll split the pair. Davis steals it, gets it off in time. Does it count? No. So the Hoopers showing some life here for the fans on their home court. They trail as they correct the score. I thought it was correct, but it turns out it's 32-28. We'll try to get this corrected. Stay with us. You're watching Hoopers basketball on TBL TV. Tide lead at 32-28. They'll start with possession here in the second period. Towns the second in the corner. Three-pointer on the way, left it short. And James Towns the second, who has been nothing but brilliant off the bench for the Tide. Finished with 8 points in that period. A couple three-pointers and a quick move to the bucket, uncontested. Here's Davis. He had the hot hand going, and he continues it here in the second period. He's got 4 three-pointers on 5 attempts. You can't even fault him for the last attempt because he tried to beat the end of the quarter at the end of it, and it was kind of a forced shot at the end, but he had 3 in a row in the first 12 minutes. As Latne will draw the foul on Ellison. That'll be his second, team's first. Actually, they'll give it to Bennett. So CJ will pick up his first. Latne will shoot 2. averaging 19 points per game, the leading scorer for the Tide this season. Chips in 5 rebounds as well. Shoots it at 51% from the stripe is Latine, and he'll go 2 for 2 on this trip. Bennett rejects the screen and trips up, but he's bumped to the floor. Actually, a correction by Brent Martindale. Tim Kendrick wanted a foul, but it was a travel and an actual turnover by Bennett. Here's Latine for 3. Got it. Step back three-pointer. Had a notion, and he knocked it down. Quick 5 points in the quarter here for Latine. Turnover number 10 by the Hoopers. Bennett, though, steals it back, and that's number 8 for the Tide. Davis all alone, and Davis will lay it up and in. Stanford wanted to dunk, but Tone will lay it up and in. Bennett with another steal. Hoopers have numbers on the run out. Ellison gets it inside. He's bumped. That's a good play by Latine as the Hoopers had numbers on the steal. So Latine will pick up his first team. Thomas comes on along with Robinson. Bennett uses the screen. Picked up by French, who's checked in for the Tide. Bennett with the jumpers, too strong. Batted around, secured by Robinson. Now Towns the second. He'll try to get downhill. James hesitates, and James knocks it in off the glass. Explosive move by James Towns the second. And I got a feeling we're going to be saying his name all night tonight. Very polished offensive player is James Towns II, and he shows no fear when going to the rim, no matter who's inside. They're waiting for him. Robinson for 3. Won't go. Stanford with the rebound. Now Davis races up the floor for the Hoopers. Bennett, Stanford, another baseline jumper. And Adam Stanford with another jumper. Cuts the lead to 4. Here's Towns the second. Pull up, and James Towns the second. He is got it going here. If they have no answer for him, he's got 12. That'll match Wol Maiwen's 12. And Davis will be tripped up. Contact there on the legs by Latine, and he'll try to plead his case to Brent Martindale. Much to his dismay, it'll be 3 free throws here for Tone Davis. Latine picks up his second personal. He'll have to sit down. So it looks like DQ Dossie will be coming in for him. Davis misses the first. A 91% free throw shooter on the season is Tone Davis, averaging 22 points per game for the Hoopers with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Actually, Dossie will come in for Towns the second. So Latine will stay out there for the Tide, as Davis will go 2 for 3. Tone leads all scorers with 14. Robinson's jumper comes up short. Stanford to Davis in the corner. Wow! Tone Davis is on a wave like a do-rag. He is hotter than fish grease from three-point range. And that was a fadeaway three-pointer in the corner by Davis. 17 points for Tone. And he gets the Hoopers within one. Opportunity now to take the lead on this possession. Bennett, two-man game, and Enya Jackson powers it up on French. And he'll shoot too. Davis wanted it back. He's got the hot hand right now for the Hoopers. $19 points for Tone Davis. As he is 3 points away from his season average of 22, and we got 7:34 remaining here in the second period. Wol Maiwen will come back in for the Tide. Now here's Latne. Spins in the lane, lays it up and in. Gorgeous move by Kendall Latne. Now Davis, feeling it. Uses the screen, three-pointer, won't go. Stanford with the rebound. Scott will try for three. That'll rim out. Jackson keeps it alive again. Another baseline jumper by Stanford. And a third offensive rebound here on this sequence for Inenya. And Stanford took his eye off the ball as the Hoopers will call a timeout. Trailing it 43-41 with 6:57 remaining in the quarter. Hoopers trailing the Tide 43-41. Great crowd on hand here at the Joseph Zatzman Sportsplex Arena. As I like to call it, the complex. Swag getting thrown into the crowd and almost came up in the broadcast area as I was able to grab a free jersey. Great atmosphere here for this final regular season game for the Hoopers. And matchup between them and the Tide as Dossie knocks down the three-pointer. Hoopers 1-5 this season versus Tri-City. Trying to go out on a winning note tonight here at home. As Tynes is fouled, he'll shoot two. Thomas will pick up his second 14 foul. Next one, they'll be over the limit as the Hoopers will shoot in the penalty for the rest of the period. So Josiah averaging 8 points per game, 3 assists and 2 rebounds off the bench. Shoots it at 92% from the free throw line. He'll go 1 for 2 on his first trip to the free throw line tonight. Thomas looking for Latney inside, trying to post up Tynes. Now he'll try to go one-on-one. Fadeaway jumper won't go. Robinson with the push off. It looked like Stanford had great position, and a two-headed push in the back by Robinson. And Robinson, some choice words in the direction of the official. Didn't agree with that push off. Thought Stanford initiated the contact, but he'll be called for the personal. C.J. Bennett will bring it over the timeline. Allison back out there for the Hoopers along with Brandon Bellotti. Here's Davis, turns the corner. That's a tough pass for Bennett to catch on the baseline. 13th turnover by the Hoopers. Mason Jones will try to check in here. Not sure what the stop is for. We're having a debate. Maybe it's something to do with the floor, or actually there was a substitution here. An illegal substitution, fans, as Brandon Bellotti was into the game incorrectly. More of a hockey line change, as Adam Stanford will have to come back into the game. And he's saying, I don't know what happened. But a very odd situation here, as he wasn't on the floor for that last possession, but now he's shooting 2 free throws. I've seen a lot of basketball in my lifetime, and I can't explain what just happened. But nonetheless, the 3 officials know what they're doing tonight, so I'll leave it up to them. I'll just call the game here high above the complex. So Stanford knocks down the first. Now he's having a conversation with Wol, and Wol's like, well, what's going on here? Why are you shooting the free throws? And Stanford says, well, I can make both, so I will. And he does. So Bellotti's still waiting to come into the game. Mason Jones is allowed to come in, along with DJ Smith. Dossie with the pull-up. Ellison with the rebound. Now here's DJ Smith. Smith backdoor, nice to Mason Jones. Jones with the reversal. And Latney rips it away from Ellison. Dossie gives it back to Latney, and he's fouled by Stanford. So Kendall Latney will shoot 2. Stanford with his first personal, second team foul. And Brandon Bellotti is still waiting to come into this contest. It almost looked like he was waiting in the penalty box to enter the game. So he's allowed in this time, officially, according to the rules. And Adam Stanford will once again go back to the bench for the Hoopers. Bellotti with the rebound off the miss. As the Hoopers can tie the game up on this possession, but it's blocked by Thomas as Bellotti try to get all the way to the rim. Here's big Doug Thomas with the pull-up. Won't go. Tynes with the rebound. Smith behind the back to Tynes. He'll corral it, though. Josiah will go to work, side steps, and he's rejected. He wanted a foul. And Latney will come up with the loose ball. Dossie, blow by on Ellison, and Ellison gets the block, but he got him with the body. So DQ will shoot 2. Averaging 16 points per game and 4 rebounds, shoots it at 84%. Tim Kendrick cannot believe it, as he wanted a foul down the other end on that 3-point attempt. by Josiah Tynes. And folks, you can see both replays. You be the judge if there should have been contact down the other end. Little justice here, though, on the miss by DQ. We have a second attempt here. And Dossie will have an empty trip as he misses both. So another opportunity for the Hoopers to tie it or get within one. Smith, pull up. Straight line drive won't fall. Latney with the crossover, gets inside. Goes high off the glass, unable to get that one to go. And a tough pass there by Smith to Bellotti. And the Hoopers still trying to overcome these turnovers. It's number 14. Here's Dossie. Blow by and banks it in. As he rejected the screen, and there was nobody home on that empty ball screen corner. Nice catch by Ellison in traffic. It's blocked by Robinson. Another block, back-to-back blocks by Robinson. And Dossie will get the contact that he wanted off of Ellison. Tim will pick up his third with 3:27 remaining in the half. Hooper's fourth team foul. Next one, they're over the limit. As Adam Stanford will come in for Ellison. Dossie closely guarded by Smith. Thomas. Jumper won't go. Hoopers have numbers on the run out. Bellotti, and he is clotheslined by Doug Thomas. That has to be a flagrant too. An unsportsmanlike for sure. A hard foul by Doug Thomas. I don't think he meant to do it, folks. That was a very hard foul in transition. Let's take another look. Got him across the chest there, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a common foul or a flagrant unsportsmanlike foul. And they're actually calling it a common foul. And it's great sportsmanship being displayed between Thomas and Bellotti. Tim Kendrick wanted 2 free throws plus possession. Brandon says, I'm okay, coach. I'll knock down a couple here. And try to make this a one-possession game. So Thomas goes to the bench. Neal comes in for him. And Brandon knocks down 2. 3-point game. Towns the second. Back in there for the tie. 12 points for Towns the second. He's looking to attack on Smith. Stripped away. Now here's Stanford. Back to DJ, and he's fouled. And actually, he's blocked by Dossie. Lots of contact. Tynes in the corner, ties it up for 3. So I got ahead of myself. It looked like there were multiple fouls on a couple shots by the Hoopers, but Josiah Tynes knocks down the 3 ball, and that'll tie it up at 49. So the Hoopers come all the ways back. Dossie's 3 not there. Tynes on the leak out. Tynes back to back. Won't go. Smith with the rebound. Tynes will try again. Reload, and bang! Josiah Tynes knocks down the 3, and the Hoopers take their first lead. Outstanding hustle by DJ Smith to keep that possession going. as he ran the floor and grabbed that rebound. Robinson stolen by Jones. Jones gets inside, and Jones is fouled by Robinson from behind, and Mason will shoot two. Couple looks by Josiah Tynes, his three-pointers, important ones in this period. You can see Smith with the outstanding hustle and the reload off the miss by Josiah, and he stayed with it. And that's what pros do. Josiah, a local product, the native of North Preston, Nova Scotia. As Jones knocks down both, and just like that, the Hoopers have a 4-point lead. After they looked like they were going to get run out of the building in the first 4 minutes. Pilati on the switch. And Smith riding Robinson to the rim on the switch. And Halifax should be over the limit. Robinson should be shooting two. So a timeout with 1:33 remaining in the first half. The Hoopers leading at 54-49. Welcome back inside the Joseph Satzman Sportsplex Arena. Vince Williams on hand, alongside producer and director Clark Swim and the entire Maritime Athletic Profiles crew for this regular season finale between these two teams, the Tri-City Tide and the Halifax Hoopers here on TBL TV. Halifax fought all the ways back. If you're just joining us, folks, they were down as much as 18 points in the first period, and it looked like the Tide were going to run away with this one to pick up their sixth win in this matchup between these two teams. But Halifax has righted the ship here in this second period, and it's been the get-ready crew, the bench squad, who have done the job for Tim Kendrick and the Hoopers. It'll stay Hoopers' possession, and it's just been relentless hustle and maximum effort and focus for this Hooper squad. Here's Stanford. He spins in the lane. Reversal there. Gorgeous move on the baseline as Adam Stanford took Robinson to school. Under a minute to go. James Towns II has been outstanding off the bench, but he's been quiet since entering back into this game. Here's Dossie, though. Dossie with the turnaround fadeaway, not there. Good defense. Smith, and he'll bank it in on a 3-on-2 breakout. Lead up to 8 for the Hoopers. Towns the second. Robinson with the follow. And a fight for the loose ball. Hoopers come up with it. Here's Smith. Smith will hold, and the Hoopers will take the last shot. Tynes will let the clock wind down. He'll try to go one-on-one with Towns the second. Nope. Pick and roll. Tynes gets inside. Count it, and a shot clock violation. He didn't get it off in time. He was looking at the clock, and there was a difference of 2 seconds. Actually, a 1.5 in the half and the shot clock. As Tynes didn't get it off in time, just a little bit hesitant on that last move to the rim. But you got to be impressed by this Hoopers team in this second period. They have outscored the Tide 30-18 after trailing 32-28 after the first 12 minutes. And there's no nights off, folks. Tri-City has been playing with their regular rotation, and they've been getting some great production, but all that production came in the first 12 minutes of this game. Since the start of the second period, the Hoopers got on a roll, and it was set up by Tone Davis's threes that carried over from the first period to the second period, and then the defense for Tim Kendrick really got going. They ratcheted up defensively, forcing Tri-City to turn it over, and they were beneficiaries in transition were the Hoopers to have this 8-point lead. So they put 2 seconds on the clock. Neal's shot doesn't get off in time. Wouldn't count if it went. But the Hoopers lead at the half, 58-50. We'll step aside. We'll have the halftime report. You are watching Hoopers basketball on TBL TV at the numbers after the 24 minutes. The Hoopers shot at 40% from the floor. 18 made field goals on 44 attempts. The Tide 46%, 19 made field goals on 41 attempts. Hoopers were 9 of 22 from downtown in comparison to 4 of 12 from downtown for the Tide. And the Tide will start with possession here in the second half. Their original starting lineup out there. It starts with a turnover by Doug Thomas, number 12 on the game for the Tide. Tyler Scott played sparingly in that first 24 minutes. He's fouled. So Thomas will pick up the foul. And that'll be Thomas's 4th personal. As Jabari Craig will check in for him. So Thomas will have to go to the bench. But if you're just joining us, folks, the Hoopers, man, they went on a run in that second period. 30-18, their best of the season. They saved it for last, but can they carry it over here in the second half? Can they finish? As Bennett goes crashing into the court side here to try to save the ball on the sideline. This Hoopers team was outstanding in that second period, but they're 1-5 on the season versus Tri-City. Trying to end the season in this last regular season matchup between these two teams before Tri-City gets set for the playoffs, as they will represent the Atlantic Canada Division, a newly division of the Basketball League. Scott strips it away. Ellison, some confusion there. Not sure who he was going to outlet it to, but he elects to give it to CJ. Here's Ellison for 3. It's good. Late close by Jabari Craig. He did that in the first half as Tim Ellison knocks down his second three-pointer. Craig with the post up, turnover. Here's Tone Davis, leads all scorers with 19. He was on a way, folks. Nice backdoor pass to Tyler Scott, just gorgeous. Leads up to 13 for the Hoopers. Dossie now with the pull-up. Won't go. Corralled by Davis. Davis gets it back from Stanford. Jumper's too strong. Here's Latney on the run out, and he'll lay it up and in. It's Kendall Latney able to get loose in transition. He's up to 10 points. Three-pointer by Bennett. That'll rim out. Everybody kind of stopped playing there. That shot would have counted as there was a shot clock malfunction. I think there's something wrong with one of these shot clocks. As it happened on a previous possession, it got down to halfway of the shot clock and just the buzzer went off. And everybody froze, but we'll play on. Here's Dossie. Craig will try to correct things, but he turns it over again. Bennett, count it, plus the foul. An outstanding assist on the stretch pass by Tone Davis. CJ goes strong to the rim, and Dossie, he tried to meet him at the apex. He got too much of the body as he knocked him right into the stanchion of the rim. And CJ will shoot the and one. Unable to complete the three-point play is Bennett. "13-point lead for the Hoopers. And Craig throws it away again. That's 3 turnovers since coming into this contest here in the second half for Jabari Craig. As their starting center, that was not Craig, that was Robinson, but 3 straight turnovers by the Tide. But Craig's got 2 of the 3 turnovers after Doug Thomas had to go to the bench, pick it up his 4th personal. Here's Bennett with the jumpers. Good. Latney spins away from the double team. And he's fouled by Bennett, and Kendall will shoot 2. So CJ picks up his second, seams first. So Towns the second will come in. The Tide electing to go to a smaller lineup. Craig will check out. So that'll move Robinson to the center spot. Dossie almost steals the inbound. Dolan with the pressure. Latney lays it up and in. Scott trying to get it in. Ellison picked off by Robinson. Latney lays it up and in, and Tim Kendrick's seen enough of this. He'll call a timeout. And that was all set up by DQ Dossie with his outstanding hustle. It activated the pressure. I don't think it was really planned. It just was the early pickup by Dossie, which turned into a couple turnovers and a couple buckets to cut the lead to 9. So Hoopers basketball out of the timeout. Halifax trying to get away from the turnover situation as it plagued them early in this contest. Tri-City were beneficiaries of multiple turnovers in that first period. So they jumped out to a large lead to start the game. Davis's floater in the lane won't go out of the timeout. Here's Robinson. Robinson to the rim. Corrals his own miss. And it almost stolen again on the inbound. As they are having problems, major problems on the inbound. So Tynes and Smith will come in. Tynes is doubled. Knocked away by Robinson. So the pressure defense here, full court, has been working here for Tri-City as they have all the momentum. Another turnover, that's number 4 in the quarter. And they are up to 18 turnovers now. Dossie gets it back on the inbound. Maiwen on the drive, left it short. Davis with the run out, the Tynes, rejected by Wol on the track down. 3-pointers good for Latne. Tynes looked like he had a wide open layup, but it was rejected off the glass. Smith gets it inside the Stanford, he'll bank it home. Dossie, no resistance, straight line drive, explosive move by DQ Dossie. He blew by 3 defenders. Smith again to Stanford. Ellison for 3. This time a Rimo. Davis with the putback. That won't fall. Tynes steals it. Nice step through by Josiah Tynes. On the Euro. Maiwen, he'll draw the foul on Stanford. He'll pick up a second team foul. So Wol Maiwen will shoot 2. Jones and Hogg looking to come in for the Hoopers. Maiwen, he got off to a very hot start in the first quarter for Tri-City. He's been quiet up to this point ever since that 12-point performance. He was in double digits before we hit the 5-minute mark. That went by in this game. He'll go 1 for 2. Hogg, straight line drive, look out. Latne tried to avoid the fans on the end line, and that alley-oop attempt goes right into the first row on the baseline. So some careless basketball here by both of these teams in the last few possessions. Towns the second in the game now for the Tide. Stanford gets inside. Hogg with the follow, try to keep it alive. Dossie up the Towns the second, and those two are like lightning and lightning together. And that's what you get when they're both running the floor at the same time and playing unselfish basketball. You get a bucket. So they cut the lead to a one-possession game. Here's Smith. Smith gets inside, and Dossie will draw the offensive foul. So DQ getting it done on both ends of the floor. Smith will pick up his second personal. Brandon Neal will come in for Tri-City. The Atlantic Canada champions have got the message here in this third period. Halifax went up as much as 13 points after trailing as much as 18, and he really clamped down defensively with Tri-City to get this momentum here. As Tommy Ibrahim able to power it up and in, and cuts the lead to one. Jones rejected by Maiwen. He throws it into the first row. Second block of the quarter for Maiwen. The athletic specimen is Wol. Gets it done on both ends of the floor. Smith's got to put it up. Beats the shot clock, unable to get it to fall. Now here's Towns the second. That's a tough jumper forced by Jones. Great closeout. Mason gets it back. Good ball movement. Stanford in the corner kicks it out and throws it away. Dossie hesitates. Second chance is there for Tommy. So back-to-back buckets. And Tim Kendrick will call a timeout as the Tide take a one-point lead. Back in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Hoopers basketball here on TBL TV. Vince Williams on hand and the entire Maritime Athletic Profiles TV. This crew, excuse me, getting ahead of myself. We are on TBL TV for this final regular season matchup between the Tri-City Tide and the Halifax Hoopers. Hoopers basketball out of the timeout after the Tide take a one-point lead. As the pressure defense has been working for the Tide. They were down as much as 13 points at the start of this period. They have battled all the ways back. Now they have a 1-point lead. Here's Smith. The Hog, and Hog is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two. So Ephraim picks up the personal. One for two for Hog. Backdoor. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. Wol Maiwen with the tip-in off the lob. Looked like he had no space there, might have gotten fouled. Hog with the baseline jumper. Man, we gotta see that again in the replay. Definitely need to cue that one up as we get a chance to look at it again. Dossie for three, won't fall. Hog with the rebound. Here's Jones, spins in the lane on Dossie, throws up a wild shot. Hogs follows not there. Towns the second, blocked by Smith. Hoopers with numbers. Jones for three with the pull up. Maiwen with the rebound. Here's Towns the second. Maiwen for three, got it. Smith now, pull up, it's good. E.J. Smith with some quality minutes off the bench tonight for Tim Kendrick. Cuts it to one. Here's Towns the second. He's bumped multiple times by Jones, and Jones will pick up his second, team's third. Davis, Bennett, and Ellison will come in. Some great minutes, though, by Josiah Tynes, Hogg, and Jones. Now Jabari Craig's out there for the Tide. Neal. And it was almost stolen. Actually, he'll be forced into the travel violation. Davis for three. Glenn three-pointer won't fall. Ephraim, he is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. So Tommy was doing some good work on the offensive glass. Allison will pick up his fourth. So Ephraim will shoot two. Knocks down the first. He'll split the pair. Bellotti on Glenn. Crosses up. Glenn gets inside. Rejected, but foul on the follow-through by Jabari Craig as Brandon Bellotti left Glenn standing still on the blow-by on that crossover. Brandon, a high flyer, probably would have liked to see him actually throw that one down and say lay it and up. Usually would see him throw it down with two hands. This guy's a human highlight reel, is Brandon Bellotti. He'll go 1 for 2. Under a minute remaining in the period. Tide lead by 2. Here's Towns the second. Good closeout by Bellotti on Neal. Neal will turn the corner, and that's just way too low for Jabari to go down and get it. Craig unable to corral that off the pick and roll. So a difference of 6 seconds on the shot clock, game clock. Smith takes Towns to second inside, and Bellotti, look out. He wanted that follow on the dunk. Glenn corner 3, can't stick it, but Ephraim's there with the follow. Kept alive by the Tide. So Davis will hold for the last shot here. Ellison, nice move and dish. Served up by Davis. Glenn gets it off, but is blocked right at the buzzer. He wanted a foul, and Brandon Bellotti with the defensive play. This might be the momentum that the Hoopers need going into the fourth. Outstanding defensive play there by Brandon Bellotti as the Hoopers trail 3 quarters in the books here, 80-79. Back at the complex, fourth period underway. It's Hoopers basketball, trailing it 80-79. Here's Ellison, nice pass by C.J. Bennett on the give and go. Hoopers will take back the lead as it's Bennett, Ellison, along with Smith, Bellotti, and Davis will start the quarter for Tim Kendrick. Neil Robinson, Towns the second, Thomas and Dossie will get the start here in the fourth. Davis. Smith with another offensive rebound. Outstanding hustle, the reset. Tone can't knock it down, and CJ with the rebound. So Halifax has been an outstanding job on the offensive glass, getting second and third chance opportunities. So Neil will pick up a second personal. Tim Kendrick will call a timeout. As we played about 55 seconds here in the fourth, and he's not liking what he sees. He's got to reset here. Draw something up out of this timeout to get things right and get on track. But it's been the relentless pursuit of the basketball on the offensive glass that has kept them in this game. After the Tide had an outstanding third period, they outscored the Hoopers 30-21 after being outscored themselves in the other part of the middle quarters, which is the second quarter. They were outscored 30-18. So we are set up for an outstanding finish here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. The final matchup of the regular season between these two franchises. It'll be Halifax's last game of the season, as Tri-City will represent the Atlantic Canada Division. And they'll move on and play in the TBL playoffs. Here's Bellotti, baseline. And he tried to throw Robinson in a poster. This time he didn't leave anything for chances, Brandon Bellotti. Not sure if he heard me high above the complex, but that's a little bit more like it that we're going to get out of Brandon Bellotti when he gets to the rim. See, just measured up. Robinson was able to get to his strong hand, his right hand. And he almost caught Robinson in a poster off of that move. Two shots for Bellotti, knocks down the first. A 64% free throw shooter on the season. He'll go 2 for 2. Jackson Nyenya will come in for Tim Ellison. Now Dossie picked up by Davis. And Thomas, he'll wait. Now the Tide will get into their half-court set. Here's Thomas. Jumper won't go. And Davis will be called for, actually Bennett will be called for the fouls. He tried to block out his man. Three-pointer by Dossie on the way. Some confusion there. Neal almost had the rebound, but a collision between Davis and Neal. Bennett, and I think Davis is having difficulties with that left hand, trying to shake it off now. Doesn't matter, Tone will fire for three, and that's off. You can really see he's maybe favoring that pinky. Might have got it caught in the jersey. Brandon Neal, but Robinson now on the other end takes advantage of the size matchup between him and Bennett. And Robinson will go to the line to complete the three-point play. Jones and Scott in the game. Davis will be looked after by the athletic training staff of the Halifax Hoopers. Smith, who's done an outstanding job tonight, is DJ on both ends of the floor, doing the little things. Here's Bellotti on the drive. Drops it off to Bennett. Thomas comes up with the rebound. Latne blocked by Bellotti. He thought he had a clean one. Was able to get the ball, but he caught him with the body. As Kendall Latne will go to the line to shoot two. Brandon Bellotti will fire up the crowd. As you can see, he got the ball, but there was some body contact, and that's what was called. So Kendall will shoot a pair. If there's one part of this, of Kendall's game that really needs improvement, would be the free throw shooting. Shoots it at 51%, averaging 19 points per game. He'll split the two shots. Jackson gets it back. Jackson out to Bennett. Shot clock winding down. Won't fall. Here's Dossie now. Neal gets inside, and Neal's fouled, and he'll shoot two. So Ninya will pick up the personal. Couple shots coming up here for Neal. In this tight game, the free throw shooting really letting down the Tide. Another 1 for 2, but Thomas with the rebound, and he'll throw it away. That'll be a back over. Tri-City 13 for 24, 14 for 24 at 58%. They came into this game shooting at 63% from the free throw line as a team. Halifax, a very good free throw shooting team, 75%. Bennett on the drive and won't go, gets his own rebound, and that might have been a goaltending on Robinson, and it is. So the bucket will count for CJ. Hooper 17 of 24 from the free throw line tonight. They take back a 1-point lead. Stolen by Bennett on the inbound. So Dossie and Robinson get their wires crossed up on that inbound. CJ with the outstanding early pickup, 94 feet, as CJ will go to the line to reward himself with a couple shots. Bennett, who shoots it at 74% from the free throw line, averaged 22 points. So he started the season on the injured reserve list. In 4 games, he averaged 22 points, and he's got it going tonight. Dossie, another straight line drive to the rim, and he's been problems tonight. He's been trouble for Halifax when getting the opportunity to get downhill. And a foul away from the ball called on DQ Dossie. That'll be his 4th, team's 4th. Next one, they're over the limit, and the Hoopers will shoot in the penalty the rest of the way with 8:23 remaining in regulation. Maiwen almost stole it. Bennett's 3 won't fall. Dossie with a full head of steam, and he's fouled as DQ taking matters into his own hands, will go to the line to shoot two. So Adam Stanford will pick up the foul. That's his fifth. And that'll be the team's fifth. They're over the limits. He'll knock down both. So Dossie up to 11 double digits for him. Averaging 16 points per game is DQ. Ellison on Thomas. It'll say Hoopers basketball. Both of these teams trading buckets here in the fourth. Strong move by C.J. Bennett gives the Hoopers back the lead. Dossie gets inside. Dossie puts it up and in. Strong move by DQ Dossie. He is starting to take over this game for the Tide. Great ball movement. Jones for three. Dossie with the rebound. And the Tide will play off of Dossie. That's stolen by Ellison. And Neal wanted a foul on the roll to the rim. Maiwen with the steal. Quick hands by Wol. Kick out, Neal for three. Won't go. Thomas will track it down. Second chance opportunity coming up here for Tri-City. Latney, backdoor to Neal. Reversal, he'll smoke the layup. Bennett walks into a three, won't fall. Jones try to keep it alive. Maiwen loses the handle on the way up, but he's fouled by Ellison. And Wol will shoot two. So Ellison will pick up his fifth. Hoopers over the limit. So Maiwen will knock down a pair. Davis along with Tynes and Hogg in the game now for the Hoopers. Josiah's three's not there. James French in now for Tri-City. Latney on the hesitation, gets inside, left it short. Stays Tri-City basketball. Dossie with the hesitation. Won't go. Here's Davis. Maiwen with the steal. Strong to the rim, and the putback is there. So Ephraim with the putback. Lead up to 5 for Tri-City. Davis, Scott for 3, got it. And that's what Tyler Scott does. A really good free throw shooter is Tyler. Cuts the lead to 2. And Latne, that's off his thigh. Josiah Tynes with the swipe. Bellotti back in. Davis to Bellotti. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So just under 5 minutes remaining here. We're entering clutch time. Bellotti will shoot 2 with a chance to tie this one up at 94. Who will be the hero tonight in this last matchup between these two franchises? Can Halifax get their second win versus Tri-City? They come into this game 18-3. The only victory by the Hoopers this season was a 116-111 road win on April the 17th. The Tide have lost twice to Newfoundland, 94-92 and 114-103. They have won 8 in a row twice. They started the season 8-0 was Tri-City, and they're trying to go 9 in a row here to end the regular season. French three-pointer, it's good. So James French with his first field goal tonight is a big one. A three-pointer in clutch time. Davis almost gotten away with the travel. Took that extra step on his way to the bucket. So that'll be a turnover. Number 24 for the Hoopers. Towns the second. Being closely guarded by Bellotti. Aggressive on the ball defense here by Brandon. James gives it up to Latne. Now he'll try to go to work. Corner 3, way off. But Maiwen, the perseverance on the offensive glass by Wol will generate into a couple free throws. So Scott will commit the foul. Maiwen will shoot 2. He'll go 2 for 2. So after the quiet second quarter for Maiwen, he's up to 22 points. Hogg, strong move to the rim. And it's a 2-possession game. Towns the second, backdoor. He's fouled from behind by Bellotti. As James Towns the second will shoot 2. 82% free throw shooter on the season is Towns the second, averaging 13 points per game. And he's got 16 in this contest for Tri-City. Scott, pull up, rims out. Here's Latney, gets caught in the air, gets it back to, powers it up and banks it home. So it looked like he was going to give up the ghost, but somehow he got it back. Davis' three rims out. So Ellison and Smith, along with Bennett, will come in. So a timeout with 2:39 remaining. The Hoopers down by 10. It's Tim Kendrick looking for some magic. The same type of magic they had in that second period when they outscored the Tide 30-18. But they need some shot making now, some stops on the defensive end. Halifax trailing Tri-City by 10. Tied possession under the timeout. Hoopers pick up full court. Towns the second will bring it over the timeline. Here's James Towns the second, the lob to Craig. Not there, but this guy's been all over the court on both ends of the floor here in the second half. Maiwen. Scott will lay it up and in. Nice backdoor cut by T. Scott. Towns the second. He'll give it back to James. Shot clock under 10. Three-pointer. Was looking for contact, didn't get it. Scott with the save, they have numbers. Smith will try for three. And that line drive will go right in. DJ Smith has provided a punch off the bench tonight for the Hoopers. Times will be called for the foul. Hoopers pick up full court. They'll double Towns the second. James will get out of trouble, and he's fouled by Scott. So he'll walk to the free throw line for two shots. 89 seconds remaining in the regulation here, and Towns the second. Very good free throw shooter, knocks both of them down. Hoopers got to get into some early offense here. Smith's three won't fall. Tri-City not in any hurry to get into their offense. They're trying to kill some clock here. He'll give it back to Towns the second. He'll quickly move it to Latney. Now Latney draws a double. That's almost picked off. Maiwen's three not there. And it's still Tri-Cities basketball. Towns the second, showing off his dribbling abilities. He'll throw it away with 36.6 remaining. Hoopers need a quick bucket and need to try to steal the inbound. Smith for three. That almost banks in off the glass. Bennett will try. That comes up short. Difference of 5 seconds on the game clock, shot clock, and Tri-City will dribble this one out. They will finish with a 19-3 record. The Hoopers 7-13. So the Halifax Hoopers finish the season here at home. And they would like to thank all the fans out there that have tuned into their games either at home or on the road. Halifax Hoopers thank you, and they look forward to next season where they'll do it once again. So for one last final time, for Clark Swim and the entire Maritime Athletic Profiles crew, I'm Vince Williams saying thank you for watching Halifax Hoopers basketball all season long here on TBL TV. Good night and so long from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.